Hi guys, welcome back to another video with me, Ashka Cash. Follow me on Instagram, all of that. If you want to, like I always say, it really doesn't matter. But yes, today I'm coming back with another video just about some of my favorite books, some books that I love to read and sometimes I channel to write about. I don't know if you guys know, but I am a writer, and I feel like to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader. You have to know what makes you feel something, what makes you want to read or dig or learn or invest yourself in more within the book. If that kind of makes sense, I don't know if I'm just rambling or not, but I just really thought it would be a cool, interesting video that maybe not a lot of people share. So like the books that I'm going to share are going to range from ages like I would guess I say 13 to maybe however old you want to say, 60 or something like that. And they're just books that really, I guess, inspired me and just held my attention. That's the hardest thing I see with books these days. Not even just these days, but even growing up, like being told to read a book, I could never find a book that really caught my attention, a book that was like, oh my gosh, I'm so interested in it. I want to see what happens next, know what happens, and yeah. So I guess first I'm going to start off with like all of the cliche books I read like in my age 13 middle school years, I guess you could say. So like The Hunger Games came out first. I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter, so I don't really know if I could recommend that. But Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and then the last one is Mockingjay. That series was absolutely amazing. I love reading it. It's sci-fi, and that's something I'm definitely interested in, which, you know, sci-fi, historical fiction, definitely my vibe, okay. But yeah, I love those books. I also, if you loved Hunger Games, you 9 times out of 10 like Divergent, Allegiance, I forgot the other title, but it's another trilogy, I guess you could kind of say. Those books are absolutely amazing. Again, sci-fi, lots of action, lots of violence, love, romance, and I think those are all things that you're just coming into in middle school age and learning about. And it was just really interesting to see and connect with my peers around me, because now I feel like I read and I'm like, oh my gosh, who else has read this book that I can talk with it about? I'm not a part of a book club, so if you guys are and it's like virtual or something, like, can you put that in the comments? So I would really, really appreciate it. But yeah, those are like trilogies that I really just like. I guess, can you call them trilogies? That's what I'm calling them for this video. And also growing up, a really, really long series was a series of unfortunate events. Growing up in elementary school, we used to go to the media center just about every week, and I love to pick out a new series from a new book from that series. And those books are really just about kids that stay with different families and stuff like that, because their family had been torn apart due to like they were a part of some secret spy organization, and they got killed, and you know, they were just fighting off, counting off from trying to like kidnap them. And I can kind of relate because I grew up like with a lot of babysitters and, you know, stuff like that. And so those books were super interesting to me, just like seeing another background that was kind of similar to mine. So as we're going through these books, I'm just kind of saying things that like make me connect with them, in hopes that if you decide to read them or if you decide to look them up, you'll be able to relate in the same way. So I guess I can get started with one of my most recent favorite all-time books that I had to read cover to cover, which is Assata, an autobiography, and it's the autobiography of Assata Shakur. I do go to an HBCU, so a lot of people have read this book, and I love talking about it with them every time, because people say the same thing. It ignites a flame, a fire in them. And as a Black woman, I just felt like I could really relate to a lot of the stuff she went through growing up, like, you know, maybe not getting along with your mother, or just, you know, wanting to explore the world without confines. And I think that's something we all as humans just relate to. A lot of people that read this book also said that they liked the autobiography of Malcolm X. But this one, just as a woman, it really touched my soul. So if you guys are interested, I always recommend this book to people who are like revolutionists, kind of, sort of. I don't really know. I also, you know, sometimes I don't like reading like really heavily, or reading something that's going to take a lot of my attention, so I turn my attention to poetry often. I not only like poetry in the present, but poetry from the past. One poet I want to really mention, who I love so much, is Sylvia Plath. I have her book, The Bell Jar, and I think the other one is called like something Winters. I'm sorry guys, y'all are like, how you really like her? You don't even know the name of her book. But baby, I've had a lot going on with this quarantine. So Sylvia Plath. She's really descriptive, and she's not necessarily old, but she is kind of older, and I don't think I hear a lot of people speaking about her work anymore. If I do, I saw in what show was it? Little Fires Everywhere. They were joking about Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar, like, who's read that? I said, listen, I've read it. I've read it 1,000 times, so clearly someone likes it. But that's besides the point. In addition to Sylvia Plath, I like reading poetry by other African American poets, or famous poets, I guess you can say. So my mom had this book that she got from my grandma, which she passed on to me. It's American Negro Poetry, an anthology edited by Arna Bontemps. I don't know. Look, guys, it's a really good book. It has a lot of the popular poems by Langston Hughes, Gwendolyn Bennett, Ellen Collins, Dudley Randall. I'm reading some of these names off here, but it's just a really, really good and easy read. Also, Richard Wright. We talk about him a lot at Howard, so I figured I'd shout him out as one of the people who is heavily featured in this book. And yeah, I guess I just want to say one more thing. If you are a writer, I think it's really important to make sure that you're getting your work featured in numerous outlets, because you never know, where else that's going to lead it to end up. A lot of people like to feature writers who've been featured in other issues, magazines, or books that have been trusted. So that's something I'm definitely working on. And if you're a writer too and you can relate, I would say you should work on those things. And while we're on the topic of poetry, of course I'm going to bring up my book, because who wouldn't? If you have a poetry book, why would you bring it up? So my first poetry book is called Caged, a collection of otherwise worthless insensitivities, and this is just kind of expressive poetry. It's poetry about, it's reflective as well. I wrote it when I was in kind of a depressive state my junior year, and just worried about a lot that I should not have been worried about, but this was definitely an outlet for me, and I felt like, even though it's just been written in a journal or just written on a piece of paper, I felt like if I published it in the world, someone could relate to it, someone would be able to see how much it meant to me and find how much words maybe meant to them. I really connect with them just because my mom and other people in my family have definitely emphasized that, the importance of words, and especially written words. My mom always wrote me letters growing up and other stuff like that, so I think that's why I have an affinity for them, or a connection to them, I guess you could say. I don't know how I'm doing in this video, so if you guys like it, definitely like the video, or don't, as I said in the beginning, because you're going to do what you want to do anyways. But yeah, hopefully I'm not talking too fast. The next book I have is Mind Over Matter, and this is another book I wrote maybe a year or two after I published Caged, or decided to publish Caged, and this one is more motivational, more inspirational, looking forward to college, and other aspects of life that, really, make me happy. So I like this book a lot, and I'm going to speak about it more on my channel because it has some other special products surrounding it that you guys might want to buy. If you're interested in these books, they're available on Amazon, Kindle, and iBooks, most ebook sites. I published it through Amazon KDP, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I have to change the way I'm sitting because it's hurting me. Okay, we're good. Okay, another thing that I like to do is look at the title of the book, and if the title really interests me, then I'm gonna definitely dig deeper. And this next book, it's titled completely caught me off guard. I saw it just walking by one of the rooms in my house. I guess my mom had picked it up from somewhere, and just the title really grabbed me. It's called The Commonest Girls Who Leave As Women, and it's a really simple title. I'm still working on the book, but it definitely talks about body image, sexuality, and just other things that you, I guess, think about as a young adult. So I think that, books that are kind of specific to your age range at that time help you get through stuff that you're going on with, and so that you're not the only one dealing with certain issues. So this book is by Krishanda Lee Perez. I'll recommend it. I definitely recommend that one. I also like to read inspirational books. So one of the most inspirational books I just found lately at my dad's house, and I just found out that we have 2 copies here at my mom's house, is One Day My Soul Just Opened Up by Iyanla Vanzant. And if you know Oprah, you know Iyanla, because she's on that show screaming at somebody about getting the work done to heal. And this book really just, as expressive as it is, as emotional as it is extremely intentional in making sure that you walk away with a better understanding of your emotions and the way that you express yourself and how it should be done and probably shouldn't be done. And there's also a piece in here that she writes about what inspires her to write. And as a writer, like, it connected with me. It made me cry because I was like, that's really why I write, and I don't know that I was able to verbalize it or put it into words. But this book is great. It's for 40 days and 40 nights for spiritual strength and personal growth. I gotta write you these, y'all, because let's get into it. It's the realness. All that. I don't know what I'm talking about, but hey. Okay, so another book that I like to read, that's a classic, it's by Toni Morrison, and I read it pretty young because the girl on the cover was young and she had a doll, and like, who wouldn't want to read about another young black girl with a doll? But it's The Bluest Eye. Definitely very intense, and definitely an interesting background story about a young girl growing up with her father and issues that she had there, issues of being overlooked as a child. Like I said before, I definitely read books that I can relate to, so I can relate to feeling like that. So this book, despite reading at a young age, it scared me, it made me nervous to turn the next page, but it also made me turn the next page because I'm interested in the young girl's life, Pecola, I guess that's how you say it, who was in the book, and I wanted to know more and wanting to know what her fate and her destiny looked like. So another great book. I'm sure you guys have heard of it though. Anyways, the next book is a book that my mom recommended to me, and it's called The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. And it sticks with me always because it's kind of about homelessness. Well, it is about homelessness. And that's something that I've always been kind of interested in exploring. I'm in the honors college, and even there I've said that I want to study the homeless population in DC because, like I said, I go to Howard, and there is an extremely large homeless population not only in DC but around Howard's campus. But this book, The Glass Castle, talks about Jeanette's family and how they were willingly homeless and how they traveled to different places and learned different things by being homeschooled by their parents, and it's their different experiences, and it's really an interesting look into the life of a child who experiences things because of an adult in their life and the choices that the adult has made. But it gives you a view into another life, which is what I believe books are meant to do. So if you guys are interested in a book like that, I would definitely recommend 10 out of 10. We have 2 books left, and I know I'm probably missing a lot of books that I love, but these are books that I had at my house because I wanted to show you guys the cover, because a lot of times covers interest me in a book, and they let me, kind of see what, or imagine what the characters in the book would be like, if it's realistic, if it's fiction. Excuse me, there was air in my stomach. It's not a bird, the air was coming out. Anyways, so the next book I have is The Rose That Grew from Concrete, and Tupac Shakur is on the cover, and it's another poetry book. I like it because they have his handwriting in here. They have it typed out, and then they have his handwriting, and I believe his mother helped publish this book after he died, but I think it gives a look into the Tupac that we always hear Jada Pinkett Smith describing, the poet, the writer, the Shakespearean aspect of him as a person. The fact that he was such an amazing lyricist, someone who was great with words, a student of their craft, and it really speaks to his legacy and what he should be remembered as opposed to what a lot of times he is remembered as. And the last one is my favorite. The book is not my favorite, but this lady is my favorite because her essence, her aura, her everything is just so relatable as a young black girl, I guess, in her 20s. I'm sure you guys watch the show Insecure, and if you watch Insecure, you know Issa, I almost cussed, Issa freaking Rae. Issa Rae is my girl because she talks about stuff about being an awkward black girl and insecure black girl. But this book is The Misadvantages of an Awkward Black Girl. My best friend got it for me, Anaya. Shout out to her. I was just on FaceTime with her for a graduation gift. And yeah, Issa's just being Issa. And if you don't know Issa, I want you to YouTube her right now. She's awesome. She graduated from Stanford. She's an amazing screenwriter, an awesome author in this book, and just talks about things that went on in life. Hey, these are some books that I liked, guys, and I thought that I would film this video while we were in quarantine and give you guys a better look into what I like to read and maybe what you might like to read and what we might like to read together and talk about together. So if you've read any of these books, if you want to talk about any of these books, please leave something below in the comments, and also please leave more ideas for new videos that I can work on creating for you guys during this time, to make sure we have some content to look at, because that is most important. I think the next video I'm going to do is going to be about shows to watch while stuck in the house, because that's something we all need to know about. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you want to, like and subscribe, or don't. I don't really care. But have a good day.